drifts into the red.
Lost it.
Nothing sensible, nothing stupid, just be sensible, just one out. Just play one out. Does the pen come in? It's a fresh penalty, it's a new penalty. It's a much easier kick. Marcus Smith! England!
Ireland versus England. It doesn't get much bigger than that. The rivalry dates all the way back to 1875 when England and Ireland first played each other in rugby. I mean, what? 150 years of rugby against each other. And it comes down again at the Aviva, at Lansdowne Road. It's going to be massive. Sold out crowd. Ireland versus England. On a cold night. Not too bad of weather. It's just going to be cold. A little bit of wind. Cloudy. So luckily no rain. That's going to spoil the party. And we're going to go through today and put our prediction out there for this game. With Ireland obviously not having the best Autumn Nation series. England having an absolute horrible Autumn Nation series. Both these teams want to put that behind them and jump up. England need to get back into the top 5 of the world rankings again. But we'll see. We'll see here. It all comes down to it. We'll go through the team lists. We'll also do a prediction as well, a score prediction, who we think will win. And if you have a prediction as well, put it down below in the comments. Comment who you think will win. Who do you think is a big miss as well with injuries, etc. Let me know below. Hit the like button if you do like these videos and hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to support the channel. It's the best way to see future videos. And it's the best way so we can all talk about rugby, because obviously that is the main thing about this, is so we can all talk about rugby, about the game that was made in heaven. So let's get into it. Ireland versus England. So as you can see, most people are favoring obviously Ireland here quite a bit. Which is fair. It's definitely, they are the better team at the minute. As you can see, the last 5 times they played against each other, 4 wins to Ireland, 1 win to England. First try wins by 80%. So if, yeah, you might as well do a bit of a live one. Whoever scores first, maybe that's when you can put a bit of a bet on. Now we go in here. Last 5 games, Ireland beat Australia 22-19 in a very tight contest. Ireland smashed Fiji. Ireland just beat Argentina, just held on at the end. Then you got losing to New Zealand as well. And then dating back to the mid-year tour last year, Ireland went down to South Africa and drew the series 1-1 with some great, that was a great game. 25-24, came down to a drop kick right at the end of the game. 2 drop kicks, actually. Absolute classic. If you haven't watched that game, go back and watch it. You know, I'm a Box supporter, but that game was amazing. Great win by Ireland, and doing it in South Africa as well. Bravo. Then we got England's last 5, smashing Japan 59-14. They had to put a statement out there. You know, not just for Borthwick, but just for the fans. They had to see some sort of life in that team, and they did. They smashed them and put on a good show. Losing to the Box 29-20, it was a very close game. So yeah, it could have even been tighter. Losing to Australia in extra time. Losing to New Zealand when they were up by 8 points with pretty much 9 minutes to go. So it's not that they're far away. They're just losing lapses, right? And then losing to New Zealand in Auckland, in Eden Park, where the All Blacks have never lost, 24 points to 17. Yet again, they had the opportunities to win that game. So I think, you know, a lot of people might be predicting either Ireland winning by a lot or being close, whatever it might be. But I do think it will be a little bit closer than most people think. Will it be a hiding? No. Will it be very close? Maybe not either. We'll have a look and we'll go through it. Now we look up here, get my ugly head out the way. So as we can see, it'll be played at Lansdowne Road in Dublin. Capacity of 51,700 at the Aviva, as they try to call it now. Beautiful looking stadium. Beautiful looking stadium. I mean, it looks bigger than what 51,000 is, right? But I guess down the end there, down the end right over there, there's not many seats up there, so they could upgrade that one day into a proper stand. Probably adds another 10,000 seats right there. As you can see up the top here, I've got a graphic up here with the overall record between England and Ireland. Like I said, dates back to 1875. And I believe it was in February as well. So nearly 150 years since the first game. history making game here. So 71 games have been played in England, 71 in Ireland. England winning 48 in England and Ireland winning 19. And in Ireland, England winning 33 and Ireland winning 34. So an overall record of 81 for England and 53 for Ireland. So very even in Ireland where they are playing. But Ireland in the last few they've beaten England by double digits whenever they've played at home in the last 3 meetings. But playing in Twickenham, it was a different story last year with England actually beating Ireland. And I mean, last year's Six Nations was crazy. Italy beating Scotland, England beating Ireland. I mean, there were upsets galore. It was crazy and amazing, and I hope the same thing happens this year. We got the referee, Ben O'Keefe. Love him, I hate him, but in general, he's a very good ref, in my opinion. He has his bad moments, as does every ref, but in general, he's good. He wants the game to flow. Obviously, being from New Zealand, he wants the game to flow. Obviously, with the surname of O'Keefe, right? He has, as everyone tries to point out, that just because he has Irish heritage, he is actually Irish, so he's apparently not from New Zealand. With the weather, you can see there today, 10 degrees, light cloud, and a moderate breeze. Tonight, it's going to be a little bit colder, so hopefully that rain stays away. Hopefully nothing pops in. Now, let's go through the team lists. As you can see, we start with the home team. Andrew Porter, Ronan Callagher. So Porter, Leinster, 70 caps for them. Ronan Callagher, Leinster as well, 37 caps for Ireland. Finlay Bealham, Connacht, 46 caps. James Ryan, Leinster, 67 caps. Taig Byrne for Munster, 56 caps. Yet again, sorry if I said that wrong. I'm really trying to work on the Taig one, but we'll see. Then Ryan Baird for Leinster, 23 caps. Josh van der Fleer, Leinster, 68 caps. Caelan Doris, captain from Leinster, and 47 caps as well. Ever reliable, that back three. Then you got James Gibson Park from just Leinster, 38 caps. Sam Prendergast from Leinster and only 3 caps. Archie from Connacht with 60 caps for Ireland. Gary Ringrose, Leinster, 63 caps. You got James Lowe, 36 caps. Mac Hansen, 25 caps from Connacht. And then Hugo Keenan, 42 caps at the back, the old Sevens player. Great counter-attacker. It's going to be interesting to see him work from the back there with England's high kicking game, right? Keenan's not the biggest guy, so those big wingers and the fullback with Freddie Stewart, they're going to be popping through and obviously putting pressure on. Then you got on the bench, Dan Sheehan is finally back from Leinster, 27 caps. You got Cian Healy, 134 caps. What a freaking legend. An Irish rugby legend. In general, just a rugby legend. Good on him. Then you got Leinster, Thomas Clarkson, young fella, 2 caps. You got Ian Henderson, 84 caps from Ulster. Jack Conan, 46 caps from Leinster. Then you got Conor Murray. He's one of my favorites, man. Growing up, obviously, he was a bit fiery. So back then, you kind of only see him playing internationals. So you kind of grow to dislike someone. But now that I've watched him more and more playing for Munster and also when he played in South Africa, man, he was really, really good just last year even. And he's not a young guy, but he can still score tries, still finish off a game. He's one of the best finishers in history for number 9s. Then you got Jack Crowley from Munster, 19 caps, and Robbie Henshaw, 77 caps from Leinster as well. So a lot. That's the thing about this Irish team. They've stuck with the main core. Same as South African team, same as many teams. They stick with that same core, add in a couple other young players as time continues. And that's why these teams are doing so good. Now we move on to the English squad. You got, let me move my ugly head out the way here, out of the El Capitano's face. And you got Ellis Genge from Bristol, 66 caps. Luke Cowan-Dickey, 44 caps. Some people wouldn't start Luke here, but, I think he's deserved it. You got Will Stewart from Bath, 45 caps, who I think he's going to have a great game against Porter. Otherwise, this English scrum is just going to get demolished. You got Mario Itoje, now captain, 88 caps. George Martin, 19 caps, the big, young second rower. Then you got Tom Curry and Ben Curry. You know, Tom being the more experienced one with 56 caps and Ben Curry with 6 caps. Imagine playing against twins like this. You're just like, which one's which? Especially if they had a different skill set, it'll kind of throw you off, I think. Then you got Ben Earl, who really needs to prove himself again. You know, his World Cup was crazy, and his last year of form has been very, very patchy. He'd have a really good game and then an average game and a bad game, etc., etc. So he should really and want to cement that number 8 position, because there's a lot of players now coming through an English squad who can jump in there as well, like Cunningham South, etc., etc. Starting at number 9, you got Alex Mitchell, 18 caps. You got Marcus Smith from the Quins, 39 caps, who'll have to have a good game. You got Caden Murley with his debut from the Quins, Henry Slade from Exeter, 69 caps, Ollie Lawrence from Bath, 31 caps, Tommy Freeman from Northampton, 15 caps, and Freddie Stewart from Leicester with 35 caps. And I think Freddie Stewart and Tommy Freeman's height is going to be a key factor here if England are going to win this game. Then on the bench, you got Theo Dan from Saracens, 16 caps, Finn Baxter from the Quins, you got Joe Hayes from Leicester, Ollie Chesham from Leicester, Chandler Cunningham South from the Quins, Tom Willis from Saracens, Harry Randall from Bristol, and Finn Smith from Northampton. So it's going to be a good game. I think just kind of rethinking over it now, and the real deciding factor is them playing it at Aviva, you know, at Lansdowne Road. That's the big key here. You know, the home record for any of the Six Nations squads is so much better at home than it is away. Now, the key players for me, Bundy Aki. He's a key player. Obviously, whenever he plays good, they usually win. But the main one is because of the weak midfield that England has. I think they got one of the weakest, I think the second weakest midfield in the whole competition, apart from Wales. You got Ollie Lawrence, who's been underperforming the last few games. He had a pretty good Six Nations, though, last year. Then you got Henry Slade. Yeah, don't really need to comment on that one. Then you got Finlay Bealham. I think he needs to have a big one as well, going against Genge. Genge and Porter, obviously the two front runners for the British and Irish Lions. So he's going to have to hold his own. If he holds his own, I believe this Irish scrum will be great. Ellis Genge is going to have to be the key player for England here. He's got to step up. You know, now is his time. Now is his prime time as a rugby player. You got Will Stewart, yet again, same thing, going against Porter. If he gets demolished, we know what happens when that Genge always holds his own, but it's always the tight head, which has kind of been the hard spot for the English scrum in the last few years. And then you got Freddie Stewart, the key man. If he has a good game, if he plays like he did against the Springboks, catching freaking high balls in the rain it was as well, like this above his head, like an AFL player, then, you know, Freddie Stewart, he can change his game. He can throw it on his head. If they do high kicks for him against Hugo Keenan, you know, he's got the height. Against Lowe, against Mac Hansen, he's a much bigger guy, 6'5", I believe. So if he can get up there, put him under pressure, the English game plan will work. And watch this space. It will be a much closer game if they can get that kicking game right. But yes, final prediction in this game, I believe it'll be 27 points to 20 to Ireland. I think it's going to be a very tight game. I think it could come down to the last 10 minutes as well. I think England might even be up early. This is my prediction. I think England may be up early. They're always a good starting team. I think it'll be tight going into halftime, you know, very, very tight, maybe like 13-10 or 10-all sort of thing. And then the second half, it'll be tight again. England with a bit of a lead, and then I think Ireland are just going to wake up, score a try through the forwards, kicking it into the corner, mauling it over, doing what they do best, and then finishing it off with a penalty to bring them out to 7 points. That's just my prediction, 27 points to 20. So 7-point, roundabout there, winning margin. Let me know what you think. Put your predictions down below so we can compare them after the game. man, so excited for this game. It's going to be 2 a.m. here in Australia, so I'll be watching that live. So definitely going to be a little bit sleep deprived on Monday morning. Put those predictions down there. Like the video if you do like these sorts of videos. And also hit that subscribe button if you do want to support the channel. If you want to be a part of it moving forward, hit that subscribe button. Always leave your comments. We can always talk about rugby. We do it in a respectful manner. You can even have digs at the other teams, etc. But be respectful, because at the end of the day, it's a game that we love. We want the game to grow. We don't want to push people away from this game that we all love. You know, most of us have played since we're young, watched it since we're young. So it is a game. As we always used to say, football is a game played by hooligans and rugby is a game played by gentlemen. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.